What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and we are back with the Week 10 roster update for Madden 20. If you remember last week, we had a huge update, the mid-season mark. We saw, it seemed like everybody move either up or down, so if you missed that, link will be below and in the description if you missed all of those guys who got updated last week. But this week, we got some more guys back on the move upwards and some more guys going back down. So if this is your first time checking out the channel and you want to stay up to date on the latest Madden news and tips all year long, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any of the important uploads. So we're going to cover the blog first, and then we'll go over just a handful of guys that went up and went down. So in the blog this week, they covered the Week 10 risers as usual, and the first guy they highlight is Christian McCaffrey. It says here, the best running back in the NFL produced yet another stellar stat line in Week 9. Christian McCaffrey averaged 6.1 yards per rush on his 24 attempts for 146 yards, and he also added 20 receiving yards and found the end zone 3 times against the Titans. He's now rushed for well over 100 yards in 3 of his last 4 games and leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns with 10. McCaffrey has already improved his overall by 5 points from 91 to 96 in Madden 20 and is due for yet another lift this week. So now he is up to a 97 overall. He is inching his way to that 99 overall club. And if he keeps performing like this, he might just get there because he seems pretty much, somebody right now that just can't be defended. Through the air, on the ground, he is doing it all for the Panthers, it seems like, and he is in the MVP conversation, and you usually don't see running backs get in that conversation too often. The next guy they touched on here is Ryan Fitzpatrick. It says here, we get an opportunity to say something positive about the Miami Dolphins in the year 2019. We take advantage of it, and Ryan Fitzpatrick took advantage of the Jets secondary last week, slinging his best game of the season with 288 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. It was Miami's first win of the season, and after slipping in Madden 20 ratings earlier this year, Fitzpatrick has earned his second bump this month after his performance against the Jets. So you see that he's gone up 1 to a 72 overall. Nothing really too crazy to note there, but I guess since the Dolphins actually won a game, they wanted to show him some love. And then lastly, they talk about Carlos Hyde, who's actually having a pretty solid season for a guy that's been bouncing around a lot, still showing that he is a valuable asset to some of these teams. It says here, the veteran workhorse back deserves some love after an impressive showing against the Jaguars in Week 9. Carlos Hyde racked up 160 yards on the ground on his 19 carries, which were 8.4 yards per carry. He nearly found the end zone too, but the football was punched out of his grasp at the 1-yard line. Despite the turnover, it was still a performance that the Madden ratings adjusters took note of. Thus, Hyde will see a ratings increase heading into Week 10, so he has bumped up 1 overall to a 79. Now, I'm actually surprised that they didn't cover one specific person in the Week 10 risers. Very surprised, because he finally got a pretty significant bump that a lot of people have been waiting for, but we're going to go over that in just a minute, right after we cover the Week 2 fallers, or the Week 10 fallers, excuse me. So, Sam Darnold is going to highlight this portion. Of course, he's kind of been struggling ever since that Cowboys game, it seems like. It says, in what should have been a get-right matchup against the Dolphins, Jets quarterback Sam Darnold failed to step up, throwing for 260 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Darnold has struggled mightily since his return in Week 6, with a 3-to-8 touchdown to interception ratio over the last 4 outings. As a result of the recent struggles, the Madden ratings adjusters are dropping Darnold yet again ahead of Week 10. So he is down 1 overall point, down to a 71. So seems like Sam Darnold just can't get back on track just yet. And they also highlighted Quinton Dunbar, cornerback of the Redskins. It says, a week after earning some high mid-season praise from Pro Football Focus, Redskins corner Quinton Dunbar was absolutely burned by Bills receiver Cole Beasley for a touchdown in Week 9. Dunbar might have been having a great season, but the film doesn't lie, and the Madden ratings adjusters simply cannot ignore it this week. So they dropped him 1 to a 77 overall. I haven't really been paying too much attention to Quinton Dunbar this year. I have heard that he was having a pretty good year, so I didn't really see this game last week. I mean, I'm not really watching a lot of Redskins games this year. Obviously, they're pretty bad, but the only reasoning they gave for dropping him is because he gave up 1 touchdown. So I don't know. I don't know if he just had a horrible game or if they're just being harsh because he gave up 1 touchdown. Sometimes they do that with the ratings for some reason. They just kind of get really harsh over one thing or one bad week. So that's kind of what it sounds like based on what they wrote here. But anyhow, now let's talk about the overall risers and fallers. So Christian McCaffrey, of course, +1 to a 97, we already talked about. Tyreek Hill is going back up after another solid week, +1 to a 95 overall. Joey Bosa, after the Chargers shut down the Packers, Chargers defense getting some love. He is +1 to a 90 overall. Tyler Lockett having another really good season. He is +1 yet again, now to a 90 overall. Lane Johnson, right tackle of the Eagles, is +1 to an 89 overall. Phillip Rivers, after that solid game, went +2 to an 89 overall. And then last night against the against the Raiders, didn't have his best game last night, so I wouldn't be surprised if they wind up dropping him back down next week. But he did go +2 this, at least for this week, he's +2 to an 89 overall until they do another update next week. Chris Carson of the Seahawks, he is continuing to trend in the right direction now. He is +1 to an 88 overall. He started the year at 87. At one point, I think he dropped down to like an 84, 85, and he's been inching his way back up. Seems like every week since then, and he's been having a really solid season. Julian Edelman is +1 to an 88 overall. Kenny Golladay continuing to move up as he's having a really good breakout season. He is +1 to an 86 overall. So Darius Smith is +1 to an 86 overall. D Ford going up once again. I believe he went up recently as well. He's +1 to an 85 overall. TJ Watt having another good year as well for the Steelers. He is +1 to an 85 overall. And here's the big one that I was surprised that they did not mention in the blog. Lamar Jackson finally getting some love here. It seems like he would move up a little bit at the beginning of the year, but then he kind of stayed stagnant in terms of the ratings. They didn't really move him up or down. He is +3 this week to an 84 overall, which is a significant bump. As we talk about on the channel a lot, you usually don't see a lot of +3, +4, +5 type moves too often. So when it does happen, it's a pretty big deal. So he's now at an 84 overall, and he's just getting just that much better. And I think before the year's end, you'll see him up in the high 80s for sure. Minkah Fitzpatrick for the Steelers, been balling out lately. He finally gets some love, +1 to an 83 overall. Dante Jackson, +1 to an 83 overall. Adoree Jackson, +1 to an 83 overall as well. Rookie Josh Jacobs looking to be probably the offensive rookie of the year. I would say he's leading the race right now. He's +1, going up yet again, is now at 82 overall. DJ Moore of the Panthers, +1 to an 82 overall. Jimmy Garoppolo finally going up, +1 to an 81 overall. And Jordan Howard is +1 to an 81 overall as well. Now let's talk about the people that are going down. So Keenan Allen he seems to be a guy that's just going up and down all year. He goes up, goes down, goes back up, goes down. Some players they just tweak their rating so much, and then other guys they touch them every few weeks. So Keenan Allen's one of those guys. It seems like weekly he's moving. He's down 1 to a 92 overall. I believe this was around where he started the year, or maybe he was like a 90 or 91. But he's down to a 92. He was previously 93. Patrick Peterson kind of had, 2 not so great weeks, down 2 to a 90 overall. AJ Green, again, injured players moving him down. I don't know why they do it, but they do. He's down 1 to an 89 overall. Deion Jones of the Falcons is down 1 to an 89 overall. Juju Smith-Schuster struggling just a little bit this year, being the number 1 guy and drawing more tougher coverage, it seems like. He's down 1 to an 87 overall. Brandon Cooks down 1 to an 85 overall. Ryan Kerrigan is down 1 to an 85 overall. Mike Daniels of the Lions down 1 to an 84 overall. Darius Leonard, last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year, he is down 1 to an 84 overall. Kawan Short down 1 to an 84 overall. Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback of the Seahawks, down 1 to an 82 overall. Malik Hooker is down 1 also to an 82 overall. And Aqib Talib, a guy that's out, again, injured. He's not playing right now. Again, he went down last week, and I don't know why they felt the need to move him down again this week. I don't really know what changed. They could have just moved him down the extra point last week, but they put him down another point this week, now an 82 overall. David Johnson seems like he's going down every single week. He's down 1 again, now an 81 overall. Nelson Aguilar is down 1 to an 80 overall. And last but not least, should have probably knew this was coming because he just hasn't been having the greatest of year compared to his rookie year. Baker Mayfield is finally going down 1 to a 79 overall. So those are all the big movers, both positive and negative. Let me know what you think below as always. Do you think that some of these are a little too harsh? Do you think some people still aren't getting enough love? Let me know what you think below as always, and I will see you guys next time.